sir. You're muted, sir.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. So, welcome over to the. Oh, how did my wife know that this was the right place to be? Somebody must have slacked her. Hi, babe.
Hi, I just go to my
Somebody is just beside her.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Very good. All right. Just as a simple principle, this could be a guideline. If we can, just use the whereby makes the recording much easier. Otherwise, we have to use QuickTime, and that takes like usually 7 gigabytes of data, and
I
it's
think this need to change it in the invitation now.
which is Kyla's invitation. So I've already written to Kyla to change these meetings to whereby, and yeah, I think it will work better. Okay, so just a few things I'd like to review today. Nadine, we have two conversion chapter discussions a week. We have one that's called sales chapter, and we have this one which is called conversion chapter. What is the fundamental difference between these two discussions?
Oh, I think there is no difference, sir. Just somebody named it differently.
Okay. Should there be a difference, or are they just a continuation of the same type of discussions, Nadine?
Actually, we decided for the Tuesday one is focusing on the guest side, and the Thursday one focusing on the partnership side.
Okay, but we have some people from employee side, right? So how is this relevant to them now?
Oh,
That is actually the thing that I'm still confused, sir, because
Yeah.
on the conversion and the employee, they're mostly like selections, right? Not
Very good,
exactly.
very good, very good. Okay, let's think about conversion work in yes, I agree. Employee side is fundamentally a bit different because on the guest and on the partner side, we have a limitless number of, let's say, capacity. We want infinite number of partners if possible. We want infinite number of guests if possible. Do we really want infinite number of employees? That might not be the case, right? So we are essentially exercising a selection process, right? Which is a little bit different than a conversion process. However, that being said, there are, I think, yes, Eka, what?
Check your WhatsApp web layer.
Nope. Okay.
There's you'll see new number and then the smart thing.
I'm having a meeting, Eka.
Okay, and I'm telling you this from my
Okay, now I lost my train of thought. Okay, let's continue then. Eka, you distracted me. I totally forgot what I was going to say now. All right, back on the employee funnel side.
have
So,
unlimited something with a limited
okay.
employee.
Yes, true. There's a limited amount of applicability from selection to conversion. However, I believe conversion is actually something that is, I think it's actually integrated into a lot of experiences, ETSs, actually, right, Vera? So let's try and do this then. Since Vera and Shaylin are here, um, let's see. All right, let's do this. Nadine, do we have a document that we can begin the discussion with? And let's just start with that. Hi, Gray. Great. What's going
Welcome.
on? Okay. All right.
I saw Erica for a bit and then she's gone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, can't control if somebody comes or not. So I think Erica knows about this meeting, right? So let's see what happens. All right. Let's take a look at some of these discussion topics, okay? And I'm going to try to frame some of these in ways that could be actually. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see for a few of these. Okay. For gatekeepers, that is actually applicable in PR, right? So that is something that we deal with often in PR and we need to find ways around. So that is a conversion discussion. And that's a really good one that Alia has put forward. Let's go to Nadine. Nadine, are there any other discussion topics right now that we need to take a look at?
Actually, my case, sir, I need a consultation basically.
Sure. Okay. Let's do a few things. So, we'll be slowly respond. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you. Great. So, actually, there's two things here that I thought about. The current discussion is is generally formed around practices that, or we're looking for problems, right? So we're looking for things that aren't working and then we're discussing about them. But I think equally important in chapter discussions are techniques that you find that are working and you want to share it too as well. So let's do this then. For Vera and Shaylin, just please bear with us for a moment. I'll try to find what the interwoven thread is and see if we can apply it here. All right, Shailin, or sorry, Nadine, bring us to your first discussion topic then.
Okay, thank you, sir. So this is basically me handling one of the inquiry from Facebook.
Mhm.
They actually willing. Okay, I don't know. I cannot open this.
Nope.
So can somebody help on sharing my screen because
Absolutely. Yeah. Pass me the
yeah,
link, Nadine, and I'll. Oh, actually, just pass the link into the chat box. And Vera, maybe you could open it on your side and share the screen.
yes, because I have a very bad connection. Thank you, Vera.
Can.
Okay. Well, Vera gets that open for us. Let's. Oh, welcome, Erica. Welcome to the group. Okay, so Vera. Oh, wow. Okay, that is a different connection. That was like night and day. Hi, Erica. Okay, Nadine, walk us through and tell us a little bit about this case.
Okay, so this guest is actually coming from Facebook, and
Uh-huh.
they're actually interested to book the Kutu Villa for six
Okay,
months. So
nice.
this is actually the conversation. So the guest say, "Hello, we already checked the villa and we like it, but I think we just need 1 or 2 bedrooms. Do you have any discount?" And I said that, "Great, sir. I could try to calculate. May I know how much is your best offer, please, and how many people will stay actually?"
Nice.
And then they say that 2 persons, me and my husband, we was living 6 months on Nusa Dua Bayview. We paid 14 millions every month included, and we are ready to pay the same price.
Mhm.
Noted. I'll take your offer to the pricing discussions. May I know what's your plan on the payment?
Okay,
Do you plan to pay it monthly on upfront? And then they
very
say
good.
that to be truth, we're not ready for paying upfront. We can make contract and pay deposit. I'm in love with this villa so much,
Okay,
and I'm a little bit put and singer, and this is a best place for me and my creation. Really want
excellent,
this one.
excellent.
And then I see you all know that I give you the update to your listen, and then continue to the next screenshot, Farah. And I said that because I identify this as a pathos first person. I'm trying to approach it this way as well. So that's amazing. I can relate how you feel about this villa. I'm also an
Mhm.
artist in a way. I enjoy write poets and also sing. I can feel that you're really attached with this villa. And then say that wow, that's cool. It's my dream. La la la. And then I think the price is so high for now because of December, but now in Bali, not so much tourists because 7 days quarantine in Jakarta, people are not ready for this. Oh, and then I say that I was, oh wow, Natasha, I think this as an artist sounds to me like you understand how the marketing pricing strategy works on seasonal basis. And I say that I think it's very profitable for owners, but now actually you could expect the people who are willing to pay stable and live long time is more sustained. And then um, I said that you're right. I understand that you're looking for the place for long-term stay, and we actually prefer that way too. But since you also understand that December is high season, the demand of the long-term stay in this villa is also increased. And I'm very sorry to let you know that I'm handling some of the guests now inquiring for this villa as well, and looks like they're ready to take it with this price. But
Yep.
of course, I will prioritize you if you could agree with this price. I understand how important is this villa for your daily inspiration. And
Nice.
okay, Laura. But this time I think I feel like I'm strong enough, but still they need some time, sir. I mean, is there any way that I could
Ah,
improve this conversation?
okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So once again, uh, this is the framework that we can discuss as a chapter then. So this is applicable to Vera and also to Shaylin. Vera, what is the five-step framework that we use to actually persuade and negotiate with whoever our counterparties might be, employees, guests, or partners?
Okay, wait. The 5 steps Wait, I forget the first one. Is it? I forget the first one, sir.
Okay, just name whatever you
Uh,
can remember then. Yeah.
okay, I remember like there's this the stage. I think it's the second one. It's like building trust,
Okay. Building
right?
trust.
Yeah, and then the next one, I guess, like you're discovering
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right.
the
Very good.
huh, and it's like matching,
Yep. Matching.
match,
Yep.
and then at the end, like you're closing the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. The first step. Let's go to Shaylin. Shaylin, what's the missing first step that Vered hasn't gotten yet?
I don't remember if this is the first step, but the accusation audit, I think.
No. Accusation audit is a tactic, right? It's not a
Or
stage.
the discovery first, right?
Yeah, but what kind of discovery?
The needs, I think.
No, that's step three.
I kind of forget them.
That's step three.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Vera?
Yeah, I
Oh,
missed that.
Huh?
identifying.
Correct. Okay, excellent. So everybody, the first step is to identify who you're talking with, right? So that you adopt the correct voice, you direct, you're synchronizing. Second step is to build trust and open conversation. Third step is to discover what is the potential needs and problems or opportunities or feelings that this person or whatever their value points are. Fourth step is to connect the value points with your product and service. Last step is to actually then close the deal. So this is interesting. Nadine, let's have you self-diagnose. What stage do you believe you're stuck in right now?
Mm, probably discovery and
Hmm,
also identification
okay. Okay. Why do you believe that, Nadine?
and also closing actually.
Okay. All right. I can see the closing part, right? Because you haven't really asked for the business yet, right? You're saying that you will do things for them, but you haven't asked them to commit to your side, right? So in closing, we have to like start nudging them along. We have to say, all right, if I could get you this information, would you be ready to make a booking for me this day, right? Because there's some other people looking at this as well, right? So that could be a pointed way to try to draw to a close. So I think Vera, are you the secretary? Maybe we can actually put that down as maybe one of our first comment lines, right? So I do see the closing might need a little bit more of a nudge. What else, Nadine, do you think that is, where else, what other stages do you think you're stuck at in this particular example?
I would say that both identifications and discovery
Okay.
actually, because but it's because I'm not. I feel like, oh, okay, she is not the only person that decide. It's something that I feel like lost, but other than that, I don't know, sir. That's my blind spot. I feel like I'm strong enough in this conversation.
Okay, let's go to somebody else. Let's go to Wayana. Babe, what do you see here? Do you see any points that Nadine could improve on? And Vera, if you will, just scroll up a little bit so we can kind of take another look at the conversation and also we'll listen to what Wayana has to say.
Okay. Based on like in what Nadine said, I think she she actually understand the guest what the guest need, but the commitment that she didn't get from the guest because like
Mm.
also I'm dealing the same thing like with the what is that like the owner give me a gas and then oh this gas doesn't want pay me like even 18 million can then give it to me, can you help me to negotiate, and then okay so how much is the price and negotiate, and then the guest actually oh this is too expensive because I paid 14 million. Okay, like just be honest like with me, you price that you paid 14 million is the same this, I'm very confident my property is very good quality and also the high season, so this is the price. Oh it's too expensive, oh I assume that you're not gonna take it the price that I offer to you, because I have in-house guests that already paid this place.
Mhm.
But if you are not willing to pay upfront in this time, will you pay? Say, okay, think about it, and then after that, hey, if you don't make decision by tomorrow, I am compared to guest the in-house guest that you can stay.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Time lock decision. Yeah.
this one is the commitment part that need to be improved. So hey, I understand that you paid like this price, and I don't know the quality of the property that are you staying now, but very confident. This is a bigger villa, like 3 bedroom, but you can use whatever room that you want. But this villa is 3 bedroom.
Okay.
Uh, and also, I know Bali Bay view is not that great. I've
Right.
been there, so
Okay. Very good.
there's a negotiation point that in there. Hey, I understand that you're paying like 14 million, but I know that villa. I've been there, even though you do
Doesn't
not.
have a ocean view either, right? So
So
okay.
it's small. The pool is smaller. I've been there, so hey, you might have a budget issue, whatever, but this villa better. And since you are will you want to stay longer, you're the
Mhm.
priority of the guest. If I give this price, will you know take this over? Otherwise, you I need to do decision, because other guests also want the decision
Yeah.
from my side. Which one to do I decide? But of
Okay.
course, the
Let's break this down.
decision is
Let's break these down.
yeah.
These are good details, but let's structure these into the framework, right? So, do you believe that it's because Nadine has not discovered enough about her client? Has she not matched enough benefits to those discoveries, or she has not closed the deal, or did she not identify this guest close enough, or did she not build enough trust? Which layer do you think that Nadine needs to revisit and do more of?
Uh, what to revisit? I think the layer of the needs. Why she need this? Why
All
she
right.
move this
Considering.
area?
Okay.
And then why she want to move this area is because of her friend, because of something else. Like, what is they like about the villa? They like it very much. Like, oh, I thank you so much. Like, what part? Why do you like this villa so much? Because of the location, or the price, or the
Okay.
villa itself. So, and then from there, okay, and then the more that you know what this person like tied into, and then can get basically use a different angle to connect to the what they need.
Okay. Excellent.
For example, like, oh, I need to be here because like close to my friend. Okay, in this area, this is the only
Yep.
complex then we have,
Yep.
and because in the area, this is we are the cheapest. Because
Yep.
in the front, like it's very expensive, and this is very good deal already.
Yep.
Consider the quality that I have,
Yep.
and I'm very familiar with this area, and then I know this is the best price that we can
Yep.
offer to you.
Okay.
So it's
Very
more
good.
like yeah.
Very good. Okay. So I think, Nadine, you've used the tactics very, very skillfully here. You've built a lot of empathetic, tactical empathy in this discussion. I don't think you have any problems with identifying who this person is, right? They've actually stated very clearly who they are. They're a poet. Maybe you could know a little bit more about, let's say, their ability to pay. That might be the only thing that could be questionable. What is their true ability to pay? Do they have a lot of money? They just don't want to spend it, or do they have a lot of money and they haven't decided, right? So that part is a little bit unclear. If maybe you could discover that, that would simplify the negotiation in some aspects, right? But I think the crucial thing is okay. Let's eliminate what are not your problems right now. I don't think you have a trust issue. This person is revealing quite a lot of information about how they emotionally are attached to the property. So they trust you, right? They would generally not do that if they didn't trust you. So I think you do have their trust. Now, the third part, which is the discovery, you haven't discovered enough about them, right? You haven't discovered enough necessarily what aspect or what particular property. What is the feature of the property that they're the most in love with? Okay, so they did mention something about like I'm a poet and I whatever, I'm a writer. I love this property. Why? Do you love it because it's close to the ocean? Do you love it because you can smell the ocean breeze there every day? Do you love it because there's a beach nearby and you can walk there for a morning hike, right? Do you love it because, whatever it is, might be the sunset, might be the ocean, might be the view, for whatever reason, there is some sort of discovery that you can make on that particular note. So like Wayana mentioned there, I would drill into the why. Why do you think as a poet you would actually be really, connected to this particular property? Okay. Once you have those whys, then you can start creating value matches. Okay. This is the third tact. This is a tactic we don't talk about a lot. This is the Daniel Pink method. Okay. So let's loop this in. People make a better decision when they compare it to what. All right. So if somebody says something is expensive, well, compared to what, right? Compared to having something that's much, much cheaper at a different quality, well, that's not expensive. That's two different things, right? Like this Mercedes Benz is expensive. Well, yeah, compared to what? Compared to another Mercedes Benz? No. Well, compared to what? A Honda Civic? Well, yeah, but you're not here to buy a Honda Civic, right? You're here to buy a Mercedes. So compared to another Mercedes, it's not expensive. This is this is what a Mercedes costs, right? So what are you talking about? So when this person, let's say, approaches and says it's expensive or I can't pay it, well, compared to what? Compared to another beachfront property with ocean views that has 3 bedrooms. Are you sure? Right. So this then allows you to make that comparison, and then they can understand the value better. Right. So if I'm comparing it, yeah, if I'm comparing what I currently have with an upgrade, yeah, it's expensive, but is it the same product? Is I don't know, not to diss on a Samsung, but let's say a Samsung Galaxy 6 and an iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 is expensive. Well, what kind of phone do you have now? I have a Galaxy 6. Um, well, is the iPhone 13 expensive compared to another iPhone 13? No. Well, what do you want, right? Do you want 3 cameras? Do you want the AI and the super fast chip and being able to open 20 apps and all that stuff? Yes, I do. Can you do that on your Samsung Galaxy 6? No. So you want the features, right? Yes. So is an iPhone 13 expensive? Is my iPhone 13 more expensive than the ones offered somewhere else? No. So why would you buy your iPhone 13 from anyone else? I don't know. So it's not expensive anymore. So we have to find the frame to help that person make that decision. Okay. So I think if you really want to drill it home, you really have to find what are all the whys, right? Why do you find it so nice as a poet? What does your husband want? Hey, if you anticipate the husband or the wife question, right? You can just ask that in the discovery. Okay, that's a really clever way of cutting off that particular escape route. Everybody always escapes through I need to check with my wife or I need to check with my husband. You can do that in the discovery, right? Do that up front. Say, hey, by the way, what would your husband think of this place? Oh, they would love it. They would love it. Okay, great. Well, would they love the price? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So if they love it and they would love the price, you wouldn't need to talk to them, right? So then you could anticipate that the more skilled you get as as a converter. Okay. So I think the discovery could be brushed up. You can discover definitely a bit more, and then frame. Choose the correct framing. If it's expensive, or I don't see value, or I want to get a cheaper price, well, how? Right? How would you get a cheaper price on this? Is there another similar property that you're looking at that is offering you a better deal at the moment? No. Okay, so I am the cheapest, right? Uh, yeah. Okay, so if I'm the cheapest, are there other people you think that might discover that this week? Oh, right. Oh, okay. Well, then, if they approach me, then I might take their business before you do, unless we can agree to a deal today, right? So we have to actually be able to understand the particular framing there. And Wayana is right. The more you understand the pattern matching, step 4, right? The more you understand about your product relative to other products, which you can do a lot here in Bukit Vista, then you actually have an advantage. They have nowhere else to go, so you can be a little bit more firm about what they really want. So Discovery also, Nadine, could involve timing questions. When do you need this? How many days do you have to make your decision? That then also gives you more ammunition towards the close to be specific, right? So let's say in the very beginning, this could be the way I would discover. What attracts you most to this property? Oh, I love it because it's near the ocean. It's near the ocean. Wow. Why do you like being near the ocean? Oh, it's helpful for my work. I'm a poet. I get inspired by it. Great. Is there anybody else living with you? Yes, my husband. Great. Is there anybody else? No, that's it. Okay. Uh, would this property be suitable for your husband? Yes, I think he goes with whatever I like. He goes with whatever you like. Okay, fantastic. Does he go with whatever you like despite the budget? No, that's usually I can negotiate with him on that one. Okay, good. So on our side. So besides the number of people who want to live here, and your tendency to be inspired. Do you have a time frame for when you would like to move in? Yeah, I'd like to move in next week. Okay, great. So now you have all these bits of information that are helpful for guiding this person's decision, right? You can say, all right, so it seems to me that currently the price that we have is actually very strong. It is what the last guest paid, and we have other guests that are inquiring right now for this property. If we're still having this discussion, you must still be interested. So we know that this is the case. Do the framework, and then their husband's already on board if they're on board, and then also the time frame, so you can work towards a close time. Right? Would we be able to make a decision before the end of your time? The more information you get, the more trust you can build through that. The more easy this thing goes. You're not trying to squeeze somebody in. You're just kind of helping them to develop a better understanding of where to go. Okay. All right. Nadine, does that answer some of your questions there?
Yes, I see now. I see
Okay.
now, sir.
So, the general principle here is, once again, Nadine, I think you did fabulous, actually. Your flow, your usage of tactical empathy, perfect. It's just more in the strategy part now. Like, really, really good negotiators spend a lot of time discovering, a lot of time discovering. So the more you discover, the more the end part becomes very, very easy. Okay, if you don't discover enough, the end part then gets kind of confusing because you don't know where to go, right? You're like, how do I get
Yep.
this person to make a
You
decision?
don't have much control
Yeah, you don't
because
have context and control and
Mm.
information. So, okay. Remember, everybody, from employees or partners or guests, the more you can discover, the more we can actually fit problems. So let's say, Vera, Shaylin, you have, let's say, an employee who's experiencing dissatisfaction at work, right? So the discovery part, after getting, of course, building trust and being an ear that the person would actually like to talk to, you need to kind of keep on going on the whys, right? So why are you dissatisfied here? Or what is it that makes it so unpleasant? Or whatever it might be. And just get all that stuff out. And then where you guys in the employee funnel do pattern matching is thinking about ETSs, right? You mentioned just before that you don't seem to get a lot of feedback, right? But we do have all these programs. Are you taking advantage of them, right? You mentioned before that your compensation doesn't feel fair, but do you realize that you have all these bonus opportunities here? Or you might have discovered that we don't have a fair compensation system, and then becomes an opportunity to actually build that as a system that addresses a common concern. So negotiations are they're good ways to discover the integrity of your of what you offer, but it's also a way to discover what the underlying root problems are in whatever your user is experiencing. Okay, cool. Let's keep on going. So I think that part is done. Let's move on to the next discussion. Now, Olia's had a pretty tough time here. I read this one. This seems like really, really tough. She's hit her head against the wall on a gatekeeper. So Alia basically has gone to a bakery, a restaurant in Bingen, asking them repeatedly, could I actually speak with the manager? And she's gotten shut down over and over again. She's tried numerous exits, and it just doesn't seem to flow, right? Vera kind of is smiling at this moment. Vera, have you ever encountered these particular moments too, dealing with gatekeepers?
Not Not really, so I'm actually trying to understand the context first.
Okay, all right. Nadine, do you want to get this role started? Get us into this particular conversation here.
Okay, sure. Okay, so Aulia is basically wants to build a partnership relations, Vera and Shalin, with some of the F&B business in Uluwatu, right? And then so yeah, basically she tried to approach the bakery. So she called the cashier basically, and then the cashier said that, hello, welcome to bakery, how may I help you? And then Aulia said, hello mbak, my name is Aulia and I've actually called you last week. I'm from Bukit Vista. And then the cashier said, how can I help you? Yeah, so Bukit Vista manage a lot of villas in Bingin. We're looking for a good place to be recommended to our villa guests. As we believe that bakery is one of them, we'd like to discuss more. And are you the best person to talk to about this? I've already called and sent you the proposal, but there has been no response. And the cashier said that, oh yes, let me inform the manager about this. And I said, can I get the manager's number instead? I would just like to have a quick call and bring more guests to the bakery. And then the cashier said, our company policy stated that we cannot do that. Alia said that, okay, then can you give this phone to the manager so I can talk to him directly here? Cashier said, no, I cannot do that. And then Alia said, but if you think this partnership is complicated, it is really not. I only want to find a practical way to bring guests to the bakery. The cashier said, but I really cannot, but I already forwarded to the manager and the manager will contact your number. Aulia said, I understand, but there hasn't been any certainty about this since I've seen it since 2 weeks ago. I just want to make sure that the bakery understand what we can bring. I'm talking about 20 to 30 guests. And then the cashier said, I understand, but I cannot connect the manager to you. It's our company policy. And Alia said that, all right, then I will resend a proposal to you again for you to forward it. And I will call again to mention that the proposal is forwarded. Yes, that's basically it.
Okay, that one's pretty funny. There's a few directions we can. Does anybody feel that kind of frustration before? Let's go to Gray. Gray, have you ever felt that kind of frustration before? Like you're just trying to talk to some gatekeeper and they keep on just swatting you away and you can't get in?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I
Okay.
have experienced that before, and indeed,
Okay.
it's quite hard to get through them.
Yeah.
It's like getting into like a club,
Yeah, that was actually
technically.
the best analogy. You're trying to get yourself into a club. The bouncer is there, and as soon as you get into the club, the bouncer is like irrelevant, right? Just as soon as you get access to the, past the gatekeeper, they're irrelevant. But you still have to do this little song and dance, right? Which is kind of annoying. Okay, let's go over Nadine. Or wait. Let's go to Shaylin. See if Shaylin's picked up anything from this kind of discussion. Shaylin, steps 1 through 5. Where do you think Alia needs to do? What has she done incorrectly here?
I think the first few steps. I mean, like identifying the
Yep.
user. Is it like the wrong user?
Yeah, I would agree. She has not really identified the user correctly. Okay. So remember, this user is not a user that's here to negotiate, apparently. This person does not negotiate. This person just follows rules. Okay. So it is maybe not even worth our time to try to persuade somebody who is just a rule follower in this particular case, right? So we often talk about how to negotiate, but we also have to choose whom we negotiate with, right? In certain cases. So, identifying the user, I think this is something that is the first thing we need to think about. Okay, what else do you see that could be an issue here, Shaylin?
Seems like I don't know. Maybe because it's the wrong user. Seems like we are like forcing things. I don't know.
Could be. We're not forcing things. We're not like, we're negotiating, right? We're trying different
Mhm.
pathways to get to a yes. So,
Mhm.
okay. But since we're trying all these different things, should actually, here's the other problem. Do you think we've built any trust with this person yet?
Mm. Trust wise, I don't think so.
Right,
It might be because like the user doesn't have like the authority. That might be like one of the case as well.
right,
Because um like the cashier in this case, like they follow the rules, right?
right.
And don't actually like have the authority to like negotiate or do this kind of
Excellent,
things.
excellent. Actually, in addition to this, Nadine, do you believe that Ollie is actually talking with a cashier, or is she assuming she's talking with a cashier?
Um, could be. See, this is the second call, right? Actually, sir, with the same number
Is
at the
she
very.
familiar with the voice enough to know that that was the cashier? Oh,
Yeah,
assume
I'm not
it.
sure about that. I'm not sure about that actually. But
Okay.
I would agree with building the trust at the very first time as well. So I don't think that bring up the case of, hey, I have sent you the proposal and you didn't send me the response. It's an inspire delight
Yep.
tone to
Yep.
begin this
Yep.
conversation. I
Yep.
think it's
Yep.
something like you're blaming somebody at the very first time.
Very correct.
It's
Very correct.
yeah,
Okay.
I think.
You shouldn't come. Okay. There's a few things I see that are wrong here. Okay. One, I don't think Alia has actually verified that this person is a cashier, right?
Mm.
Because how could she have? She didn't even ask who this person's name is, right?
Yeah.
Or what they do, right? So it's just a voice on the telephone. It could be the owner. It could be the manager, right? Themselves. You need to talk with the manager. I can't give you the name. You need to talk to it could be the manager themselves, right? So Alia hasn't actually identified herself. She hasn't identified what she's about to do, what her purpose is. So she obviously then doesn't. She hasn't identified the counterparty as well. Okay, so I would start this with just kind of a different thing. I would say, "Hi, my name is Alia. I'm representing Bukit Vista as a market development community management specialist. Okay, and today I'm here to talk to your cafe to see if we can do some business together. Are you the right person to speak to? Right? Uh, no. Okay. Well, what do you do at this cafe? Your name. What is your name? Right. So get to know them a little bit, I think, so that they don't oh, okay, all right. Maybe they say, oh, my name is Made. I'm the cook. Oh, you're Made, the cook. Okay. Do you normally take business calls? No, I normally cook. Well, what are you doing today taking business calls? The restaurant's super busy right now, and I need to be here taking business calls. Oh, the restaurant's super busy. Sounds like you might need some additional help, right? Yeah, that would be great. So, if you notice what I'm doing right now is I'm already going through a discovery pattern and I'm doing tactile empathy, right? To try to say, hey, look, I understand your situation here. Okay. And I'm trying to come off as somebody who wants to help and not put more burden onto your day. So then once I think you go down that pathway, you start probably getting some different tone. Okay. So you have like a different way that you can go. So in order to identify the other party, it's very helpful to identify yourself first. They don't know who you are. It might be against company policy to talk to tax people from the government. It might be against company policy to talk to random strangers who want to do harm upon the business, right? So they don't know. So they probably just give you the generic answer. But if you identify yourself, you tell them your purpose, then I think you can help. Okay, I would then seek for common purpose. So as a cook, it's probably your job to find a way to make your business go better, right? Yes, it is. Yeah, of course. That's why we're all here. All right. Well, I'm going to bring some guests over to your property. Are you the best person to talk to about that? They're going to come over pretty soon, right? No. All right, good. Who is the best person to talk to? My manager. Okay. Um, would your manager be able to talk to me right now? Maybe. Okay. So then they would probably just hand over the phone to that person if you framed it properly. But if you frame it as a sales call, if you frame it without identifying yourself, not building any trust, not seeking to gain any empathy, they're probably thinking, oh, another sales call, probably screen this one away. Right. So those are things that I've seen so far. Nadine, what have you seen so far? Actually, I haven't seen any following any of the steps. Right. I don't see any discovery. Right. I see just pushiness. Like maybe what Shaylin said. This is pushiness. This is just jumping right to trying to connect features and benefits without doing any of the discovery, without doing any of the trust building here as well. And that might be where Alia might take it another level. Okay. Okay. Nadine, what do you see here?
Yes. The thing that I really highlight is the second stage actually to build trust that to begin with. It's something that already pushing people at the very beginning of the conversation, and then and then as well as the second statement that Alia said.
Mhm.
So Bukit Vista manage a lot of villa in Bingin. We're looking for good place to be recommended to our villa and guests. It's something that the benefit isn't really visualized or apa ya kelihatan gitu for the partner
Yeah,
So we need to be precise what kind of benefits that they will actually get.
that's
So
great.
I remember the very first time we discussed this. Actually, we have this term like fake it until you make it, right? But
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm having this a, a lot of a group of people actually wants to come to your restaurant,
Right.
and then and yeah, just like what we did to the property owner as well, right? I have discussed we want to bring this property to your this
Oh,
guest to your property, something like that. So visualizing or delivering the benefits, it's actually the important things to make sure that it's understandable to our partner
yep.
negotiations. Jadi choose the wording to frame your benefits in something that easy to understand in their perspective gitu. I think that's
Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's go to Erica. Erica, what do you think so far about what's been discussed?
Yeah, I think I've seen like this a lot. Like this can also be applied in hosting as well. I'm here just like observing, but I have to agree with Nadine actually. Like when we bring food to the table, or let's say like we are a servant, like maybe the waiter, and then we are offering them like the menu, and then we are like explaining like, oh, this is like the best menu that we have. So like the guest will order that, and then like, oh, okay, I will try to take a look of what you offer. And then when this is like what I think of this like conversation, like when we offer something to someone, we have to explain what we really offer and what benefits that they have, and then does they really need that. And then my comment is that uh, Aulia is actually asking for faster response, right, for
Mhm.
from the manager. And
Yep.
then I think what we should be discovering is like how can we get a faster response? Like what should we do when we
Ah,
offer something that we need, that we can get a faster response? Because like
interesting. That's very strategic,
but
Erica. Yeah, that's
yeah, but I think it can be more than like not pushy. It can be more like soft
okay.
kind of way
Okay.
that can be like ask like how can we get a faster response?
Very good. Okay. Erica is focusing on the key issue at hand, is which is the problem we want to solve actually. How can we actually find a faster response? And that's something we can negotiate for rather than trying all these different kind of like angles and such. So that's a really good point, Erica. Good discovery there. Um here's another way. There's two games to be played here, okay? There's the big game is whom you negotiate with. Okay? So whom you can negotiate with is a decision. You have to decide whether or not it's worth it to actually spend the time and the energy to kind of go through this little little exercise here. Okay, let's say in the interest of exercise, just getting some practice, we'll negotiate with gatekeepers. But from a strategic level, it's much better to just try to get access to the manager by other means, maybe just through a Google search or through, just look on TripAdvisor. Maybe the manager puts their numbers to guests that complain and you can just call them direct. Okay. So the first thing you have to decide is it actually worthwhile to negotiate with a gatekeeper? Is there another way that you can reach around the gatekeeper? Okay. I'll tell you guys a very funny story. So to really lock this idea in place. Once upon a time, I was invited to present speakers to Harvard Business School through an invitation my friend had given me. And this was really a special moment. So I was unemployed at the time. I didn't have a job. My wife will testify to that. And I was just kind of bumming around and looking for opportunities. And this thing fell on my plate. So this is Harvard Business School, some of the best negotiators, smartest business people in the world, right? So these people, they went and they basically delegated a bunch of jobs to us. So we were supposed to bring talent speakers to this big conference that they were having in November. All the Harvard people, what they did was they spent all their time dealing with gatekeepers, sending cold calls, cold emails, doing all these things to try to get past gatekeepers to reach CEOs, hedge fund managers, all these important people, right? I realized, you know what, I'm going to try a different tactic. Okay. And I paid attention. And I noticed something. In the social media world back then, people didn't want gatekeepers either. A lot of very famous people, they would do this. They would talk about an idea that they wanted a lot of people to believe in. And then at the very beginning and at the end of their talk, they would leave their Twitter handle. Right? Hey, if you have any questions, just talk direct to me. Tweet, right? These are CEOs, these are hedge fund managers, these are all these important executives. So I just went on Twitter and I just tweeted them. I said, hey, I just heard your talk. Do you want to be a speaker at Harvard? Right? Got past the gatekeeper. So in the end, I brought about 5, I think, of the most important speakers to that conference, right? One of which, he was the CEO of Uber. I mean, he's kind of a villain now these days, but that he became the keynote speaker. He was the number 1 speaker. Okay, so the first thing you got to decide in conversion is this gatekeeper worth going through the gatekeeper process? And that's where sometimes being a little bit innovative can get you around it. So number 1, okay. Number 2, if you do have to go through the gatekeeper, then you need to actually build trust and you need to start seeing value from how they see value. Okay. So this is probably the way I would begin. After the introductions, I've introduced myself. My name is Alia. I work on community development for Bukit Vista in Bingen, and we want to partner with your restaurant. Now, here are some yes-oriented questions, okay? And then I'm going to switch it over. I'm going to show you more advanced technique to turn into no-oriented questions, okay? So here's the first set of questions I would ask. Is it important for your business to do well during the pandemic? Yes or no? Yes, of course. Would bringing more guests to your location in a short amount of time, let's say today or tomorrow, be beneficial to you and your business? Yes. Okay. Well, are you the right person to talk to negotiate a deal if we wanted to send 20 or 30 guests over there right now? No. All right. Then in the interest of your business, who is the best person that we may speak without getting you in trouble, right? It's this person. Okay. Is there a policy that says that I can't talk to that person direct? Yes. Okay. What would you suggest is the best way to contact them in a way that benefits your business and benefits the guests that are about to come? And let them think about it. Okay. And then they will probably give you an option to get there. So you've built the trust, you've built your intention, and you've asked a bunch of questions to sort of discover, do they care about actually doing this, right? Now, Nadine, how would you then reverse that and turn it into no-oriented questions for even more effect?
Okay. To no-oriented questions.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wish I get the yes-oriented questions. Okay, for no-oriented questions. Um, Would you what is this? Sorry. Would you? Okay, I'm a bit confused to translate
Okay.
it to English.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's how I would frame some no-ended questions, right? So let's take that same line of questioning. So I would go something like this. Are you powerless to do anything to improve the state of your company right now? Are you powerless? Do you have no are you powerless to improve how your business does? No. Okay. Um, do you generally not care if guests come to your cafe or not? No. Okay. If I brought guests to your villa, to your cafe, would you turn them away right now? No. Okay, great. So if I need a contact that I can speak to, would you deny me that contact right now? Yes. So the same particular way, right? Try to frame it in a no. That was a little bit clumsy though, and since I can't see some of the people's faces, I don't know how you guys reacted to that. But um, which one works better? Let's go to Shaylin. Shaylin, which line of question do you feel works more strongly? The no type questions or the yes type questions?
Mm, I think the yes type.
Okay.
Let's say.
All right. Yeah, the yes type sounded more positive in this case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pass it over to Vera. Vera, what do you think?
Actually, I would prefer the yes type question, right? So, but then I suddenly think of this, like, if you give the no-oriented question, right, they're gonna like indirectly keep answering no, no, no. But then when you give them a question that suddenly hits them, then they're gonna start thinking, oh, okay, this partnership might be benefiting in a way, and so they won't answer it like sembarangan. How to say? They won't answer it like, yeah, up to you lah. They're gonna be like thinking again. Oh, okay, you got a point. You get what I mean, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay, let's go for Nadine. Nadine, we've been taught theoretically no questions seem to be more easy, right? They're more powerful. But what do you think in this particular case? Is it a yes question? Ah, yes. Yeah, I like that. Do you care if there's a big group of people coming to your restaurant? Don't make a reservation at your restaurant. Ah, okay. All right. That's hard to say yes
Yes.
to, right? Yeah. Put in the fear. Okay. Listen, everybody, you can probably approach either through the yes channel or through the no channel. Wait, let me double check that with Nadine. Nadine, what do you think? Is the yes or the no orientation better?
Actually, it still depend on your who are you talking to as well, sir.
Okay.
So for like the cashier people, they basically could carry the simple conversation only.
Right.
So
So,
that's why on delivering the benefits, use apa use you need to use their vocabulary. You cannot say like we have this partnership, we have been a partnership and inspire delight with this. It doesn't matter for them. They don't understand. So you could just be straight to the point because uh, they are the transaction people, the
very
cashier
good, because
people.
you've
Yes,
identified them correctly. So now you
yes,
know what type of language actually to use in this
yes.
particular circumstance. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
basically, whether you use yes or no questions, as long as you stick to the right vocabulary, the
Yeah.
right types of things, then you should be able to get them to go either way. Okay, I think that can be the summary then, right? So build the story, build the string of benefits that they can actually understand, and I think then they'll be more inclined to help. Okay, all right. That's pretty much it for today's conversion chapter discussion. Okay. Yes. Okay, babe. She's got to pick up our daughter. All right. Thank you, babe. All right. Next particular discussion, let's try to get some more material, everybody. Right? If there's anything, let's say Vera, Shaylin, that you've been trying to do and you don't see success, right? Bring it here to this discussion. Any types of people that you're like, oh, I wish I could persuade this person of this, or I wish I could get this person to do what I thought they should need to do. and it doesn't work out, tell us what that case looks like, okay? Because that is probably a persuasion case. Shaylin, same thing from your side as well. Same thing with Erica and Gray. If you see any cases where, yeah, persuading an intern to hold the whole hands, they're like, oh, I can't do it. I don't know what to do. Okay, identify, build trust, identify, discover what their fears are, discover, what we have to be able to very struggle every week. Okay, yeah, that can be a real exercise. But here's the idea, everybody. If you follow these 5 steps, right, that will always be the correct sequencing of how you actually do any type of persuasion work. You can do it for a person, you can do it for an entire company even, right? If you need to give, let's say, a particular point of view and persuade everybody we need to go this direction, you can follow the same 5 steps. So that's something we'll try to master first, right? What are the 5 steps? Within each step, as Nadine has demonstrated, you can use different tactics. You can use accusation audit. You can use a mirror. You can use a label. You can use a framing. You can use an off-ramp. You can use a no-oriented question or a yes-oriented question. You can use calibrated questions. You can use all these different particular tools. But most of what we cover right now in terms of how it applies to every user funnel are the 5 steps, okay? And that allows us to diagnose what step did we mess up on and what particular stage we need to go back to revisit. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, and have a good week ahead. And please use these. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, one thing that doesn't happen nearly often enough is I don't see enough people actually negotiate their pay, which is kind of surprising in some ways, right? Negotiate your pay. I think if you believe you're worth more, then demonstrate it, right? There could be some things that we haven't seen, or we don't know that you're bringing value in a particular way, and we need to be educated, right? As part of HR or whatever. If you can persuade us that that's something that we need to consider, then why not do that instead of like go and start a new career somewhere else, right? Let me put it this way. There's a really good career tip. I used to be so afraid to negotiate for salary, right? I was like, oh, I just take what I was given and I'd be happy with that. And then, you go and change jobs and you realize you never get paid more, right? It's not because whatever, right? It's because you haven't figured out what you're worth. And you probably haven't figured out what the company values either, right? So that is the ongoing reason why you can't get more paid, because you haven't figured out essentially you haven't discovered what your company will pay you more for. So once you've discovered that through your own negotiation process, then it should be a lot more easy to actually advance your career too as well. Okay, so salary negotiation is completely open. I wish more people would do it, but hopefully this will get people to think more about that. All right, that's it. Bye-bye, everyone.